All right. I hope everybody had an awesome Memorial Day weekend. And now the weekend's over, though. So here's your financial tip Tuesday. I wanted to talk about HSAs or health savings accounts and why I think they are one of the best retirement accounts that you might want to consider. So, an HSA has to be paired up with a high deductible healthcare plan, an ADHP. And so if your workplace offers, a lot of times they'll offer a traditional plan and a HSA high deductible healthcare plan. And so the traditional plan might be better for you depending on how they have it structured. So you might want to go for it, but then you wouldn't qualify to contribute to an HSA. But if you choose to do the high deductible healthcare plan with the HSA, then this video is for you. Or if you're considering doing it, then this video is for you. So an HSA is a little different than an FSA where you can roll the money over year to year. So you don't have to worry about having that money go away if you don't use it. So a traditional retirement account, the year you put the money into the account, you get a tax deduction. And then down the road at retirement, when you take the money out, then you do have to pay taxes on it. So you're deferring the taxes until later. A Roth retirement account, the year you put it in, you don't get a tax deduction, but then down at the road at retirement, when you take the money out, it's all tax free since you never got a tax deduction. An HSA is the best of both worlds. You get a tax deduction when you put it in. If you choose to invest that money, you also don't pay taxes on the investment. And then the year you take it out, you don't pay taxes. So it's kind of a win-win where it's completely tax-free as long as you are taking that money out for medical purposes. Now, if you take it out for non-medical purposes, which I would not recommend, then you would get dinged with a 20% penalty and you'd have to pay taxes on that money. But the key thing with HSA investing is once you turn 65, now that 20% penalty goes away. So once you're over 65, you have the option where if you take it out for medical purposes, you don't pay any taxes. But if you take it out for non-medical purposes, then you just pay taxes like you would on a traditional retirement account. So it's the best of both worlds. And so I think it could be a really good option for a lot of people. Unfortunately, most people in the United States that have an HSA choose not to invest it, and I think they're missing out on a huge opportunity. There are contribution limits for HSAs, so if you are a single person, for 2023, the contribution limit would be $38.50, and for a family, it jumps up to $77.50. The nice thing about HSAs though is there is no income limit which restricts you from contributing. So somebody who makes 50,000 a year or somebody who's making 5 million a year, they all can contribute to an HSA as long as they are covered under a HSA high deductible healthcare plan. So most people put money into the HSA, then they take it out right away to pay for medical expenses, which is a great thing, I think, to do because you're saving quite a bit of money on taxes by doing that, by filtering it through your HSA. But if you have the ability to pay for that medical expense out of pocket, out of your regular bank account, and hang on to the receipt and let that money and invest that money and let that money grow, I think that is a huge opportunity that a lot of people are missing out on. And so something you might want to consider, what you can do is there's no IRS limit from when you have to reimburse yourself back. So if you pay for a medical expense, hang on to the receipt, and then years down the road, when you choose, when you want to, you can choose to take that and reimburse yourself back for the medical expense. And in the meantime, you've let the HSA money grow throughout the years. So it's something to consider. Obviously, there's always risk with investments, so make sure you're thinking through those and looking into those in detail. First blog post that I wrote, I will link that to this video, and that goes into a little bit more detail about HSA investing. I think, if I remember correctly, less than 5% of the United States invests their HSA money. And so if you have any questions on that, feel free to add a comment to this video or send me an email. I'm happy to help answer more questions if this intrigues you. Anyway, I hope you have a great week.